Alright, so we're back in, and now we're at Townhall 2. Townhall 1 was basically just going through the tutorial and not much else. There wasn't a lot of upgrades to do, and it kind of directed us what we can and can't do. For each level, each town hall that you go through, they're going to max you at certain troops and certain levels. Like you can't upgrade your archer tower all the way to max for the game. You can only let it go a certain level for each town hall. So as we go through Town Hall 2, I always like to start off and focus on upgrading my army camps if I can, and my barracks, which gives me different troops. And then I try to focus on like doing the research for the troops. That also helps increase your troop level. If you do those first, then you can do these attacks, and you can focus on getting your resources and monies that way, your elixir and your gold. If you focus on the other things, they're important, like getting your gold storage is important, getting your elixir storage is important, because at certain levels you're going to need them to have enough available to buy stuff, like for instance upgrading your clan castle down there in the corner. It takes quite a bit of resources to do that. So you can see I'm upgrading the barracks there, which will give me the giants, and I want to upgrade the army camp, but I don't have enough money, so I'm looking for what I need for the next builder hut, which is also important, because the more builders you have, the more things you can be upgrading at once. And I can upgrade some walls, but I typically don't do that unless I have a lot of extra cash just lying around and I don't have much else to upgrade at that time. Once you get deeper into the game, a lot of people will leave one builder available almost all the time to upgrade things like walls or your little bombs or traps or whatever. I like to keep just using my builders as much as I can, and then if they happen to be available, then I'll try to upgrade as many walls as I can. You get to the point in some of the higher town halls where it takes millions and millions of gold or elixir to upgrade. So if we were to just upgrade our walls all the time, then we would kind of neglect our other things that we need to upgrade. So it's like, are you going to be playing all night? Probably not. You're going to be usually sleeping, right? So before you go to bed, you can set it so you're got something building, and then you wake up in the morning and you maybe play for a little bit and go to work or whatever. So you set it for for another portion of the day, and then when you get home after work and you want to sit back and play a little bit, whatever time frame you have, you just try to set that apart so that you have your builders available during that time so that you can upgrade the things you want. And then maybe you want to work on walls, so you sit there for a while and do some attacks, and then you can upgrade some walls. So I'm building up my armies. I really don't have much to choose from, just archers and barbarians. I don't have spells yet. If you see me click through onto the spell tab, that's just habit. I always build my army, and then I go and I check my spells and get my spells brewing if I needed them. So I'm just looking at what I can upgrade and what I can do at this time. Capital doesn't unlock till Town Hall 6, and the boat doesn't unlock until Town Hall 4. So the boat's kind of cool because it'll unlock another area where you can have another town hall that's a little bit different. It's called the builder base, and it interacts differently. So that one, once we get it unlocked, I'll show you how to upgrade in that, because it's a little bit different. So now I'm upgrading a few walls. I'm probably going to go do some attacks and see what I can do. I'm going to look around, see where the defenses are placed, see how much gold is available. There's a little bit of gold here, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. If I attack this side here with barbarians and some archers, then those archers will start clearing that side. Then I'm going to go after the other defenses, try to hit them hard, and maybe throw some archers behind, and some barbarians to clean up. So once those defenses are down, it's your choice if you want to send those extra barbs in, or if you want to hold them off and try to save your resources. I think they changed the game a little bit, because it used to be that you had to spend the elixir to get troops, but looking at it recently, it seems like you just have troop space, and you don't have to necessarily purchase the troops to make them. So it's more about the timing that it takes to make them than the cost of them. Each troop used to have a cost based on how powerful they were, like your electro dragons and your your dragons or your golems. Those were like high cost troops, and then the barbarians, the giants and the archers and the goblins are all like the lower tier troops, and they were cheaper. So I'm not sure how or when they did that change, but I did stop playing Clash of Clans for quite a while. It's one of those games where you can play for a while, and you can step away from it when you're not really feeling like playing it regularly, and then you can come back. And if you keep your village linked with Supercell, you can come right back to it, and it should be saved. I actually have 3 villages now. I have this one that I just started, and then I have one that I started, I don't know how many years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, and then I have one that I kind of started a little bit after the first one. So I actually have three town halls now, and it's nice because I used to have to keep them on different devices, but now I can have them all on the same device and just click on and log into each individual one. So I did my attack. Now I'm gonna get my troops rebuilt. Trying to go with mostly barbarians, just get them in there and do their attacks, and then the archers don't take as many hits, but I like them for they can shoot over walls and things. So when I pick troops, I try to be a little bit strategic about which troops I'm gonna build. And there's different strategies where you can just go with like all goblins, but you're not likely to get you're not likely to 3-star it unless you're talking about like one of these lower tier town halls. The goblins, they'll go after all the resources. So they'll go after the elixir storage and the gold storage, and they'll even go after the town hall and the clan castle, because those have resources in them too. Once they get all the things that have resources in, then they'll start attacking everything else. But for when you don't have very many troops, you kind of have to be a little bit choosy about what you attack. So this has quite a bit of resources in it. I'm just considering, can I take out enough of it? and I'm gonna pass. This one I can take out all of the defenses because they're right there on the edge. This also helps you to understand how to kind of build your base. Try not to put your defenses where they can be easily reached. Try to put other things in front of them. So, you can put your defenses kind of central inside the base, as it were, and then stick your gold storage or stick your elixir pumps or anything like that around them. Even like in this village, those little builder huts, those are really great ones to just kind of put outside of other defenses. And then when the troops start attacking them, then your defenses will attack the troops. Gives it time to attack them. Eventually, you'll get air troops and things, and you'll have to think about it a little bit differently. But for just starting off, just as you do your attacks, think about the base design and then how that can be incorporated in your own base. You can see that on mine, I have one of the cannons is kind of surrounded. I'm going to go ahead and build these troops real quick. And then the other one's kind of on the edge, so I would be kind of weak in mine because they'd be able to attack those two defenses on the edge. I think eventually I move them around, but I was just trying to get everything placed and all that. I haven't really built anything or designed the base how I wanted. I just kind of placed everything in, kind of just to get it going. Okay, I'm pretty good on elixir, so I'm looking for bases with a lot of gold in them, like this one. And I'm going to see, okay, can I get to the defenses? That one was a little bit hard. This one, everything's spread out, and I can get to the defenses, so I might attack this one. I think I'm worried about that one right there because there's stuff around it. I was worried if my barbarians were going to target it or not. I had to use more barbarians than I wanted because I wanted to save a couple for the archer tower in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my troops attack up at the top, and when they start getting targeted down below, then I'll throw archers down by that tree to take out the archer tower. So this is part of the strategy where you're just kind of sitting back, you're watching the timer. Can you get everything taken out? What are you going to use those last troops for? You're going to try to clean up some of those buildings, or you're going to try to go after like those resources in the right corner. But I want to take out as much of it as I can. So then they're starting to get targeted, so now I put my archers down. And I should have put them a little bit closer to it because they started targeting other things. But I wasn't too worried that I was going to be out of troops. Now they're going to spread out, go after the nearest resource, nearest building. And this will be a 3-star attack. As long as I don't run out of time, which doesn't look like I will. I got all the elixir that I can, so not really worried about elixir. To talk about why I want a 3-star versus why wouldn't I just stop the attack, or why am I worried about getting the 3-star? When you get the 3-star, you can see the trophies in the top left. It says 28. That's how many trophies I'll get for 3-starring this base. If you don't 3-star, if you 2-star or 1-star, you get less trophies. And if you lose, if you don't get any stars, then you would drop down 2 trophies. The trophies help you into getting into higher tiers, and in the higher tiers you get more bonuses. So right now I'm not really getting any bonus, but eventually you'll get a bonus, and it's pretty substantial, especially in the higher tiers. So back when you used to have to buy all the troops, it used to be really expensive, and so in order to make up for that, they had the tiers, and when you went up to the higher tiers, you had to use the higher troops to even have a chance at 3-starring any of the bases. And in doing that, they gave you that bonus for the tiers, and that helped you to not stay in these lower levels. That's all I had for that part of the video. I'm going to see if I have more video to add to this, but if not, then I'll see you on the next video.